Hi folks, welcome into the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have another 4K review, in this case the Arrow video release for The Great Escape. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review. As I was saying, The Great Escape released by Arrow Video. But before jumping into it, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews, and also sometimes soundtracks on vinyl. You can also find me on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU, for detailed pictures of all the items that I review, including this one. So, moving on, here we see the cover of the release, and here the back with all the details of the content of each of the discs. Here you can see the spine. And this release, just like other newer Arrow video releases, it has this slip cover for the full slip case that we have under. I still cannot make up my mind if I like them or not. I think they don't feel very premium, to be honest. I think the releases when they were just like this, they were fine enough, and there were cases, even for example this one from Boyhood, you can see there how there is some shiny end here on this, and also on the letters of the title. I'm not sure if I can, yeah, there maybe a little bit, yeah, it's a little hard to capture on the video, but it's just like this shiny end here on the picture of the boy. So I think this was super nice. I'm still not very sure if I like this new addition. Now moving on to the cover of the full slipcase. It's the same we saw before, and also a more simple background. Now if we open this up, we find the movie in a standard case, also with the same back as we saw in the slipcover, and also this booklet, which looks like I guess some sort of document. Then here is the back, also quite simple. Now let's take a look at the contents, and also you can see here how it looks like. Yeah, I guess some sort of document or something like that. I'm not sure what's the best word. There's a closer look to the contents. Of course, the content of this booklet is in English. Here we have some details of cast and crew. This movie that includes several great actors like Steve McQueen, James Garner, James Donald, and Charles Bronson, of course. Here's the first of the articles, maybe, that are included. So a lot of nice photos. Of course, yeah, they are a little small, but I think it's fine. Then some, you can see here some black and white photos of those classic bike rides. Then there is this article that goes over the different genres that happen in the movie. And lastly, some text about the restoration. Here it says, The Great Escape is presented in its original 2:35:1 aspect ratio with original mono and 5.1 audio. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray edition is presented in HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The 4K digital restoration was completed by MGM, and it was sourced from 4K scans of the 35mm original camera negative at eFilm in Los Angeles and a 35 interpositive scan at Deluxe in Sherman Oaks, California. References for an accurate color grading included an original 35 dye transfer print sourced from the Academy Film Archive, and a separate 35mm prints owned by Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. It also says the 4K HDR10 and Dolby Vision grading was completed by Fidelity in Motion. Additional grading and restoration was made by Arrow Films. Now moving on to the content of the case, we find here the 4K UHD Blu-ray for The Great Escape. Now if we flip this one, we find a second 4K UHD Blu-ray for The Great Escape 2, that until I got this release I had no clue that it existed. We'll talk about that now in a second. And now this Blu-ray here has all the bonus features. Now there's also on this side, as you can see here, a poster that was included, which also is a little different than other Arrow posters, where normally they have that very matte finish. In this case, it's a different kind of paper, more bright, and it feels more thin as well, so it might depend on your taste which one you like more. I prefer the other ones normally, and as you see here, it's a double-sided poster. Now talking about the picture quality, I'm gonna focus first on The Great Escape, the first of the two movies included here. In this case, it's a movie from 1964, if I'm not wrong, or 63. And as we just read from the booklet, it was filmed in 35 millimeters, so that's actually considered, if it's kept in good condition, a very good source for 4K restorations. I think the team at MGM did a very good job, and also with the additional adjustments made by Arrow, I think the movie looks great in 4K. Now, what I consider reference quality for older movies might be Lawrence of Arabia. I would say that this is not on that level, but it's still the best that this movie has ever seen, having pretty sharp images and also quite colorful. And also the HDR was a good addition, especially for those darker scenes that happened during the night in the movie. For the audio track, I was not particularly impressed. I think it does the job, but nothing too outstanding to highlight there. Now moving on to The Great Escape 2. This is a movie that came out almost 25 years after the first one, if I'm not wrong. It's from 88. And it's a movie that was made for television, it didn't come out in cinemas. So the 4K disc includes part 1 and part 2 because it was divided into separate release dates. The first movie is around 3 hours long, and also is the second one. Each of the parts are around an hour and a half. And even though the source for that movie is 25 years more modern than the other one, I think that maybe it looks just slightly better than the first one. And an interesting thing to mention about this second movie is that one of the protagonists is Christopher Reeve, the actor that used to perform the role of Superman also around those years. Now moving on and talking about the bonus features, is as always with Arrow an extended list, so let's check that out. It begins with The Real Great Escape. Author and historian Guy Wellers separates facts from fiction in this brand new interview. Then there is another one called The Great Escapism, brand new appreciation of the film by Jose Arroyo, associate professor in film and television studies at the University of Garwick. Another one, The Great Composer, brand new interview with composer author Neil Brand, discussing Elmer Bernstein and his iconic score. Yeah, that's something that I forgot to mention about the first of the movies. The score is it goes so well with many of the scenes, because this movie kind of like swings between different genres, and part of what makes this more noticeable, of course, is the score of the film. Moving on, there's another one called Freedom Forge. Critic and educator Rick Johnson explores the film's place within the war movie canon in this brand new visual essay. Then there is an interview from 2020 where they explore the career of John Sturges. Another one called Heroes Underground is a 2001 4-part documentary exploring the making of the film and the events which inspired it, featuring interviews with former prisoners of war. There's another one called The Real Virgil Hills, 2001 featurette interviewing former POW David M. Jones, widely seen as the inspiration for Steve McQueen's character. The Untold Story 2001 documentary exploring the planning and execution of the real-life escape. The Untold Story additional interviews, Return to the Great Escape 1993 featurette exploring making the film, and also an image gallery. So as usual with Arrow, a lot of extra entertainment included with the release. And that's all for the review. I would love to hear on the comments if you have watched this movie. What about the second one? Did you like them? Are you planning to get this release as well? Remember to check out on Instagram for detailed photos of the release. And again, you are invited to subscribe to the channel if you like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Doki Dogs.